At this moment, world markets are taking a bit of a hit this morning. You got oil prices jumping after the attack. You're looking at the Dow Jones Industrial Average at the moment. As you see there, it's pulled back more than 600 points. Let's bring in CBS News MoneyWatch correspondent Kelly O'Grady now to help us kind of connect dots between how this may and may not be connected. Kelly, great to see you. How are world oil prices reacting to this? Because that's the key commodity that can fluctuate based on conflict.
Absolutely. And, whenever there is something like this that happens over in the Middle East, there are implications, economic implications for you and me right here at home. Right. So oil prices are spiking because oil is traded on a global market. It is simple economics. Go back to your college class, demand and supply. And so when you have bombs going off in the Middle East, when you have Iran being a top 10 oil producer, as many other of the Middle Eastern nations are, there is a concern about supply. And that is why you are seeing oil prices rise roughly 7 to 10% given on the minute. Things are changing very rapidly. And that is very important because go back to the summer of 2022. What happened? Gasoline prices spiked. Right? Yeah. Remember, I was out in California. It was above $9 a gallon at one point.
There were record levels everywhere.
Right. The reason is because oil was above $100 a barrel, and that was because Russia had attacked Ukraine. And that caused very similar things in the oil market as we're seeing right now. So that's really the big concern, that all of this unrest, you're going to see oil prices continue to go up. And that's going to impact everything from gas to inflation to pretty much everything that you and I buy.
And I think a barrel of Brent crude is still well below 100.
I just checked it at 74, but it was in the mid 60s.
Right,
and by the
exactly.
way, energy prices being low is what has kept inflation low these past couple of last months.
So not something that consumers need at the moment. And speaking of, you've got some new data when it comes to the sentiment of consumers, their spending habits and interests. What's fresh there?
Yes, this dropped just minutes ago. We saw a big spike in consumer sentiment. Of course, we've been talking about that a lot of late, that it has gone down because of all of the trade policy uncertainty. So people are still worried about their finances and inflation, but it is significantly better than last month. But I will highlight this, of course, does not include any survey responses from what happened last month. And geopolitical unrest often impacts how consumers feel about everything. And so this will be something to track next month.
All right, so some improvements on the sentiment side, pulling back on the energy cost side, a lot of details and data points to track. I'm glad we have you to juggle all of it. Kelly O'Grady, thanks for your time. Have a good weekend.